think we just need an overall better test of this.
Looking at your 2 hour, I think 132,700 would be my target area.
Up here for, yep, for those buys.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I'm just gonna. I want to see this 2 hour close so I can mark up my bias and then I don't forget like I did yesterday and take some stupid ass sells.
Yesterday really taught me to just wait and wait for my analysis to play out. I was starting to get really hesitant.
Yeah, waiting really paid off yesterday.
Yeah.
Hopefully the live stream doesn't cut out. There's a storm going on and it says there's an outage, so.
Around your area?
Yep.
That's cold in Wisconsin. That's cold over there, right? It's pretty cold.
No, it's humid as crap out right now. It's like 80 something and humid.
Oh shoot, never mind. During the winter though, it gets pretty.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah. Unbelievably, I can't wait to get out of here. Yep. Hello, hello. I agree, Eric. I think bullish is going to be the sentiment for tonight.
Were you born and raised in Wisconsin, Paul?
Yep. Yeah, no. Not somewhere you want to stay.
Are we live, Paul?
Yep.
Cool. I'm gonna go ahead and mark it now. Yo, bro, what's that? Yeah, good mate.
Yeah, Miami's a possible. I think Tennessee was an option.
Who was annotating there? That's what you're anticipating.
What's up?
Yeah, I think Gage was annotating his anticipation of for the night.
Oh, I didn't see anything. Oh, there we go.
It's pretty quick.
Yeah, unless this breaks the 4, right? Like I want to see like the bump up and then dump. This was like the consolidation area, and the range we were breaking out from.
What's your view on the high lows coming into?
I'm not paying too much attention to it as of like the previous. I'm looking at the previous 4 hour. Once the previous 4 hour breaks, and then I'll be more confident for buys. But until then, I'm kind of just staying patient, and if it goes, it goes. Because once the previous 4 hour breaks, I want you to use this top wick. I'll look for like a retest to create like a higher low then to take up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't like the way that it just closed. It's kind of closed. It's closed with like no wick to the top and no wick to the bottom. And we couldn't get above 132,400. So now I can't take a buy.
What time from you looking at 30?
Yeah, 30 minutes.
was only slightly low. We're able to adjust that from earlier.
Yeah, I'm just looking at that like it makes sense because it's like the most recent resistance, and then if you stretch it left, we've got all these wicks tapping into it from, you know, this sort of price level. So for me, this is quite a key price level. I'm just going to be back in literally 1 minute. I'm just going to run to the toilet quick.
How's it going, Paul? You okay?
I am lovely. Hopefully this stream doesn't crash.
I think everyone's having internet problems. Like earlier today, was it today? Yeah, I think Roger had some dropouts.
Oh, there's a big storm going on right now, so there's already an outage. So let's see how this 2 hour closes.
Decides to just like break the 4-hour high right now. Oh gosh, hold on. I'd like to see it kind of consolidate for a little bit. Resistance, and then break out a little bit closer to open.
I said lower lows and lower highs don't make. I said lower lows and lower highs don't make support. Because if you're getting lower lows and lower highs, you're breaking support. Or pushing from a resistance through a so-called support. With the exception of when price is ranging, then it kind of does its own thing. Look up here. Like this one made a low to this and then a high to all these. So there's no higher low, higher high. Then this got that lower high, lower low, broke all the lows, came down. And then these ones never really broke the exaggerated, like the lowest of the lows versus previous candles. So there are exceptions, but there's no for sure this is exactly what it is in trading. Because if that were the case, then it'd be incredibly easy to never lose. If there was one rule that was always right every time, then trading would be easy. Easier, I should say.
I think it's simple but not easy.
Mm-hmm.
What's your bias, Paul? Is it?
Once this 2 hour closes bullish, we'll be bullish, but it's more than likely going to be bullish. So
yeah.
I was just waiting for the close to put my line, but looks like we're going to be breaking this.
Yeah, the previous 2 hours. Weird.
Yeah, the 4-hour looks really bullish right now. It's bullish, spaceship, wicks to the downside.
It's yeah, I saw those cells. Where were they? Was it these right here? Or was it this? I don't remember where those cells were. Oh, it was right here. So it was these ones up here. Yeah, those were nice from 600. Yep. I just turned it down. There. Yep. So that'd be the same thing with resistance. If we're going into resistance, we don't make these higher highs, higher lows, because if we did, if we didn't, then this would be resistance. So same thing, we came to the support, we got a higher low. This one broke that low but still respected this low. Price continued up. So if we make higher high here with another higher low under maybe here or here, Then we'll probably get up into here. Nope, I did not trade NY yet. I think I'll be trading NY on like Wednesday, I think. I'm just kind of working on some things. Yeah, I saw NY has not been very fun. Fill the daily wick, yeah, I see that as well.
Yeah, if this keeps running, looks like I would have missed the move.
I think he might have missed a move. I don't think it's the move.
Yeah, I suppose. A move.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it is the move. I mean, if it pushes up 30 pips, then
I missed
yeah.
that.
Yeah, my spread is 1.5 right now, so not bad. And if the stream goes off, guys, then that's it. There's an outage again. Big storm going on, so if we go out, I'm not even going to waste time trying to turn it on again for it to go out again. That's always how it goes, so if the stream turns off, then we'll be back tomorrow. Alright, so Boban, got your chart here. I mean, looks good. I'll just be careful and see what happens kind of in this area here. Make sure you get above these wicks for sure to then get up into this area. Maybe even right here you're going to have a bit of an issue. So it's alright, once this hourly closes, we'll make a bottom wick and we'll get an entry. So got this on the chart here so I don't violate my 2-hour rule again, and I'm paying better attention. Nope. No thoughts on that, Jordan. I think Sharma might have thoughts on that. Sharma, any thoughts on Rand versus Yen?
Oh, what?
On Rand versus the Yen?
No idea.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I was missing something really important that I should know, but
Yeah. There's only like few pairs that I focus on because they move the most. They make the most money. I don't really focus on the rest.
Yep, yeah, I traded GU in the very beginning. That's why I'm sticking to GJ. Moves similar but better, in my opinion.
I like the fact because when I started trading, I used to do a lot of different pairs as well at once. And I guess it was just the mentality of like, if I have different pairs, then at least one of them is gonna make me money, which is not the right mentality, personally. But I like the fact that if you're focusing on one pair, like GJ for example, and then you want to move on to other pairs, then I would look for something that either has GBP in it or the yen in it, because at this point we know how both of those currencies move.
Mhm.
So then when you're moving on to the next pair, really you just got to figure out how the next pair moves. For example, if you're doing GU, then you just got to figure out how the USD moves and when does it move.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think GJ is gonna run. up to that.
Looking like it.
650. Not even do a retest here.
Yeah, this just hit the entry that I was trying to look for, but I didn't create a buy stop because I know this is gonna create a wick and come right back down.
Yep, where you're looking at bearish 2 hour with the little
Yeah.
body right before the doji. Yep, that's what I was looking for too, but no
I mean, if
stop
I
loss.
miss this and we break past this 132,700 area, then I have
That'll
another
do.
to 133.
Yeah, it's even better up there. So I mean, if it does keep running, hopefully it keeps running past
Yeah.
700. Then, did we enter a buy?
Kind of paper traded this if it broke the wick, but I don't know if it's got enough legs in it to go too far.
I got a question for you guys. Are you guys looking at a entry possibly at the new hourly, that letting this hourly close at the new hourly high?
No, I'm not.
You guys you guys would say like a retest would be much better, right? Because then you have no chance of kind of buying the high.
Yeah, my only thing is that for the past like week or so, GJ likes to wick out a lot. And so my biggest thing is like the last 15 minutes or so, whatever we have left of this hourly candle, I think price is gonna come right back down into this little range.
Which time do we have left? 15 minutes? Let's see.
Yeah, I just don't want to get caught up in like a wick and then here.
Yeah, the only thing though was like the way that the market was moving, it was like slowly. Obviously, it had some volume behind it, but it was like slowly climbing. It wasn't just like all of a sudden one move up and then I went back down. So the fact that it's like slowly climbing up, I don't think we're gonna get like it shouldn't retrace all the way back, but you never know with GJ.
If the 30-minute closes above this area, above this resistance that Paul has marked, and then the next one comes down, makes a lower wick, and then continues up, then I'll take an entry.
Got it.
That retest of the resistance.
Yeah, gotta make sure I stick to this rule so I keep myself out of any ranges. I think that's why I got stuck in it yesterday is I didn't have my line on. So once we made that new hourly low, I was like, oh, we got volume, we're going down. And then when it was on the 2 hour, it literally just made a 2 hour bottom wick and continued up. So that's what happens when you don't follow your own rules. But
I'm
yeah,
waiting for something like this, but with physical candles, not just wicks.
yes. Nope, I did not take a buy.
Yeah, I think the only way I'll take a buy is if this candle closes sort of how it is now, and then we do see the next candle do pull back and then come up and break the high, because then even just the wick fill would be, you could secure at 10 pips, and then if we do run up all the way to 132,650, then you can take off more profits. And because of those wicks as well to the left, since we've had the, so if you look all the way to the left, we obviously had that bearish move down, right, on, what was that, so that was today, from early London session through to New York. And then if you see since then we've came up again to tap into this area and we've kind of rejected it. So if this candle does close like a strong bullish, now we can say that the probability of us continuing up to 132,650 is going to be a lot higher, because we're not rejecting at this price level anymore.
Yep.
But it depends, because this candle could just push and do the move, I suppose, last 30 minutes of the hourly as well, but we'll see.
Harrison figured out the holy grail.
Yeah, I just saw the way I was looking for that for the previous 30 minute to close above 132 400, but it failed to close above, so I couldn't at that point even start looking for buys yet. But once this candle closes above this area, now I can start validating that we are forming support here. Maybe we can continue moving up.
Yeah,
I'm probably gonna wait as well because, like, obviously yesterday, my first buy entry I got obviously wicked out, and I closed early, so it was quite a heavy pullback. So I think I like to wait for a little bit more of a bottom wick.
Yeah, first 15 minutes of the hourly.
Mm-hmm.
Because if that first 15 minutes makes the wick and then runs up, then you have 3 more 15-minute candles to get an entry on. And if the next one closes like we did right here, so it's a big run, and then we get this next 15 that does that, which is a 30-minute good close, and then a break above, that's still a good move too. So you really, that first 15-minute really kind of sets up the hourly.
I caught the second buy entry, because once that candle then closed above that area, I could start validating that buys were still more probable if we're coming up and breaking the high. So once we've done that, I knew that it was like price's last barrier. If that makes sense.
Yep, this is what I think is going to kind of happen if we close above. We're going to see this hourly, this next one, wick down into this most recent area we broke out of, and then kind of push off and maybe leave another wick right here, kind of leaving the area to push us up top.
Yeah.
Because this would be our most recent break, so we might see a wick kind of tap into this bearish wick here, if we're going to continue up, that is.
Just looking at the wicks, they've been higher than the previous wicks.
Yeah, I was looking at that, but then you could also sort of argue that from the top side, we've made like lower highs because of that rejection, if that makes sense.
That is true.
So I suppose if you look at it like that, there should be a break in trend, because we can't be going in towards each other. It's got to go somewhere.
Yeah, I think like this wicking up above this is more like a strong confirmation also, kind of breaking like the lower wicks, like the lower highs.
Yeah, I saw that. The only thing I'm wary of is obviously left to that, there's then 2 really big rejection wicks. This is why I definitely want to wait for a close in this area.
Yeah, if we close above here on the 30-minute, the hour, I think it's pretty good chance to definitely come up to that next zone.
Yeah, just have to see, really watch how the next candle forms. Try not to get in too aggressively, because we've seen what it's done over the last couple of weeks. And if you really think about it, I suppose that even on a higher time frame, we are kind of ranging, because we're stuck, say, between 132.650 and then kind of stuck between 132 flat. So I suppose we kind of still are in this big range. So there is that little bit of a percent going against you, because we're not really trending in terms of because we're in this big range. But within that, obviously, there's different levels, and I will look to take trades based off that. But you do have to be aware that we are not trending right now.
It's kind of creating like the thing you're also saying, Kirsten, where these wicks are coming up higher and higher, but then the tops are coming down lower and lower.
Yeah, exactly.
I hate when it does that.
I think like because we're struggling to break past the 132 area. Like that's a very strong area on the daily,
Mm-hmm.
the support, and price is really just trying to come down and break past that area, but you know we're not able to. But once it breaks past that, it's pretty much a rally down.
It's like we're just wedging in,
Yeah,
break out one way or break out the other way.
my next target is like 131, and then after that, the 129 area.
Kind of based off market structure, I think we could come up. It's looking like there's hard rejection to 132, so I think we could come back up to like 130, 133, 134.
Yeah, I think 133 as well. Like that's where my target area is. But looking at the higher time frames, I don't see price going up like any price above 134.
Mm-mm.
That would be like the ultimate limit because it still needs to follow the structure.
I'm just gonna quickly go make a drink while I'm waiting for this panel to close.
Same.
Yo, Gershot. Yo.
Hello?
You know that 15-minute entry yesterday? Or was it yesterday? I think it was maybe, oh yeah, it was yesterday. For the cells.
Yeah.
Dude, the entry was like, that was like, how much percent did you make on that trade? That was like, that trade went into profits in like 20 seconds.
My 15-minute entry yesterday?
Yeah, the bearish one.
Let me check. I don't even remember, bro. Let me pull it up right now.
Like the cells, 15-minute low.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Where you broke. I know exactly what you're talking about. Where yeah, and then you where rest of the guys you waited for the 30-minute break, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't big because I secured quickly at eight pips 1-to-1.
Yeah, dude, that was came back really quickly.
Yeah, thank God because I took a loss before this, so I secured it quickly.
Mhm.
I didn't want to play with that.
Yeah, jeez, I wasn't even thinking at all about cells at that point, and then boom, all of a sudden we get like 15 pips to the downside move, stops all the buyers out.
Yeah, I only got 8 pips of that. I was like, I'm gonna just quickly get in and out. That's what I'm gonna start. I've been doing it, but sometimes I hold it up longer. But it's quick 1-to-1.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this story? What are you looking for?
I don't know. I mean, I'm just kind of staying open-minded right now to anything that can happen. It looks like we're pretty bullish right now, but you've seen GJ fake out before and stuff like that, even though the higher time frames looks bullish or bearish. So I'm just kind of staying open-minded right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He could be a fake on that already. This 30-minute came all the way down.
Yeah, if we close back inside here, that'll be pretty telling, I think. Then we would have like a clear like candle to the left on the lower time frame, like 30-minute, like 1 hour,
Yeah.
to just come back down. But I don't know, I'm just waiting for now.
Might be just like the trade where it's in a range, breaks above the range to continue heading further down. But he just did it like a bit bigger today. But we never know. You just got to wait out and see.
It's pulling back really hard right now. Oh my gosh. Jeez.
Like keep going in range. Just made a
Pardon?
week.
Pardon me?
I said looks like it will be keep going in a range, and that was just a week.
Yeah.
Who's DJ?
We just need like a nice close above up here or down below. Because my 4 hour, it broke the low and then and now it broke the high. That's one thing I don't like when it does that.
Yeah, and this it's always confusing, like where it's going, right? But it looks like it will go bearish for now. Let's see.
We'll see. They're just playing around for a bit. Because I've seen this kind of play out before where the 30-minute closes like a weak doji and with the massive top wick, and then when it breaks a low it usually continues heading further down. I've seen it play out before when it breaks a range like this. But the only thing I don't like is a 4 hour on this. The higher time frames, it's done nothing. It just stayed within this little bigger range.
Yeah.
So it's like
Sorry, go ahead.
so like I've seen it, and the question is, do I just stay patient
Yeah, I don't know.
with this play out?
Thinking about doing it. I don't know. It looks
Always
good.
be patient.
Yeah, I know. I know. Always stay patient, but
I'm really tempted right now because why are we? I don't know.
the only my exception to this would be this is like because I don't like the hourly like being bullish how it is for me. It is still a strong bullish formation. So the only way I would kind of even look at this if the next hourly creates a top wick first and then comes down and breaks the low.
We've seen the same move on like every time frame for the last couple of days, right? So, like you just said, Gujarat, that the price is gonna come down and it's gonna create like a huge bearish wave and then just continue back up. So that's pretty much what I'm waiting for here as well.
Yeah, because current 30-minute candle is just a doji, and it came back all the way from up. So it looks like next should be bearish, but I'm not expert like you guys.
I'm not an expert. Don't put that status on me. Don't worry.
It's just we've seen this happen so many times on so many different time frames.
It's just creating massive wicks.
What are you afraid of?
Pardon me?
So tempted right now.
Don't hesitate.
No, I've seen. Go.
So don't hesitate. Don't overthink. Either take it or don't take it.
Yep.
And if you push the button, you don't like the trade, then don't push the button. So 2 hours bullish. 1 hour closed underneath. So we'll see what happens.
You know, just before the last week, I used to take these type of trades, but last week, including today morning, gave me some lessons. So I'm hesitant.
No, yeah, Paul, can you switch on to the 30-minute real quick? This is what I want to say. Like what I was looking. So on the 30-minute, this was the range we broke out of, right? This I know you know what I'm talking about. So this is the range we broke out of. Kind of cleared the way. For me, invalidates the range. There's no room to move trade. This 30-minute, I've seen it before. It kind of closed the doji, and usually when it does break the low, I've seen this same setup before. It continues heading down at least to the bottom of the. At least to the support at the bottom. So that's what I was kind of looking at. But the only thing I don't like for this specific setup right now is just that on the 4 hour, it broke the high, it broke the low, and then the previous hourly still kind of closed strong bullish. So I just don't want to be caught in the lower wick. So it's like kind of like I'm trying to kind of anticipate like this is gonna be a fake on the hourly, but that's like that you can't really do that. It's just that I've seen this setup before, so that's why I'm kind of seeing what happens with the way the market moves.
I think we're good to go up because this one broke above here, so our next target should be here, up to this area. So if we get a new high, I think we're good. Or we see higher lows and enter at a new high,
Yeah.
then we're good.
Yeah, that was just a really weak close. I mean,
2
We
hour
might
close.
see that
I
little
would-
push up.
2
I
hour
would-
closed above.
yeah, I mean, everything is. I don't know. I think there's part of me. Yeah, but it's just part of me. I'm just like, I don't like it.
Yeah, I
like
think.
This is probably that push up that we see, like the 30-minute close before the session starts, or before Asian opens. This is probably gonna be that bullish push.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the only thing is we can now pull up anywhere into this wick and head down because look where we've tapped into, price tapped into and rejected. It rejected 132495, which is exactly the wick to the left that happened earlier today. So we couldn't get above that. We did get above the other wick, so maybe we want to see a close strong in this area for this really to be, I think, a confirmed buy. Because the way we closed, yeah, it closed bullish, but I mean, like what Gershot was saying, you know what, I completely agree, to be honest, because had this have closed a good bullish candle, we could say that, okay, now we're getting a strong close in this area of rejection. But the way that it's closed, it's almost like a rejection. It just didn't close bearish, so you think it's still potentially going to go up. But I think it was going to go up. It should have closed strong. So I'm gonna wait for this next candle to close to see if I'll take buys.
Yeah,
That's what I'm gonna do.
I see price coming back down to this area that Paul was talking about.
I'm gonna
very-
do this. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'm gonna take this entry, but I'm gonna do it on reduced risk, so that if it doesn't play out, it's perfectly fine. Like for the rest of the session, I'm perfectly fine. So I'm gonna take this entry at the break of this 30-minute low. I have a stop loss set at the top, and then if it wins, it wins. If it doesn't, it doesn't, because it's me like a super reduced risk trade. So I'm comfortable with it if it doesn't go my way.
So are you trying to catch that, like the hourly wick down and then come back up?
No, I think I've seen this before, like on GG. I think this can come down at least all the way down to the support.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I believe. So I don't think like this can easily just do the retest and continue further up. So that's where I'm not confident in, and I do see what you're gonna see, but I think this can come all the way down to the
It makes
support.
sense. You got clean traffic on that candle coming up.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take a reduced risk on this for this trade.
About 17 pips, right? 15, 17 pips.
Let me check my 54.
Yeah, I'm really not convinced that was buys yet.
Yeah, like 15 pips, and my stop loss would be at least 5 pips. So it'd be like 1 to 3.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's gonna come down to this area and then come right back up. It's the same thing that it's been doing for the past couple of days.
Yeah, it's really playing around right now.
Because I'm looking at this just created clean traffic for us to continue heading further down.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah, I see that. Maybe if it falls below support that we created down at 132, 220, that sort of area, if we come down and form below there before Asian Open, and Asian Open is going to take us down and retest that strong daily support.
Yeah, I
And
entered
then-
this trade. Sorry to interrupt you.
That's fine. Yeah, no, I think that could potentially work out.
Yeah. So I enter this trade. It's super low risk, so it doesn't necessarily matter what happens in it.
I'm paper trading with you, Gurjot. I'm here for the support.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I'm also in favor of this trade. So I'm in by some low lot, like half of my lot. Because I have been seeing GJ doing this within the range. Up, down, up, down.
Yeah. Maybe it needs to pull back. It's quite a big wick. It's quite a weak close.
Plus, remember that hourly never made a bottom wick. So we could see like yesterday where we wick underneath here, tap here, and then we'll continue the move up. But either way, I mean, underneath here, kind of a clean move down, above here, clean move up, so.
Yeah, I mean, look where the hourly closed as well. It closed just below hourly resistance. So now it's like, it's not really giving you buy indication yet.
I mean, it broke the high of this bearish one, which we should ideally have stayed under if we were going to hold here. So if we see a higher low and a higher high again, then we're definitely going to go up.
Yeah.
But if we don't get above this wick here, then I think there's a better chance we do end up coming down or doing nothing again.
I do agree with you with the wick, but the only thing I would say, if you view it like this, it's almost like a grab.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? So,
Yep.
and then we're doing the same here. So, to me, price hasn't given its, if we were going up, you'd want to see a close above this level. We haven't closed above this level yet. So, for me, if we get a 30-minute close in this area, now we can say that the probability of us continuing up to this level is a lot higher. If we're going to respect this trend and not this, that would make sense.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I just
That's
don't.
just
I'm
how
not
I see
the close isn't necessarily what I'm focused on, but I know you like closes for sure. But the thing is, if we get like
No, everyone's got their own way. Like I don't. It's just exactly how I see it. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
And then I would completely respect the way you see it, and it works for you. So that's perfect. Do it.
Yeah, I mean, if we see higher highs with higher lows here before a break here, I think higher highs here with those higher lows would be good to break here for sure.
Yeah, I just think my argument would be if we just get one 30-minute bullish close in this wick, now we can say that.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? That's I think the best probable. Otherwise, you don't want to get caught in early buys taking it higher. You know what I mean? If we're gonna maybe pull back down, I don't know. You've seen GJ do some mad things.
Yeah. Especially with the hour before open now. Could see that pullback and then drive
Yeah,
up.
I totally agree that if we're coming up, then we are definitely gonna fly. But it's one of those, it needs to maybe, like you say, come down like it did yesterday, and then do the move later on. I think it's Asian Open that will push it up, because about an hour after Asian Open we just saw that strong bullish surge. So maybe it's going to be a similar sort of setup to yesterday. I see how the other week, how we noticed that it was like 4 or 5 days in a row it was pushing up to fake out to drop down, you know what I mean, or when it was doing that. I think this could be the new trend for the week, because we saw it happen yesterday. So maybe if it happens again, now we can say maybe it's going to be Asian session buys, because it seems to just trend for the week.
Yeah, definitely agree with that.
If you've noticed.
Yep, I do. I have noticed.
Especially recently, because of the whole, economics going on at the moment with the yen and the pound, all the coronavirus stuff. So there's a lot of volume, but it's also just having a bit more longer term effects on currencies, I suppose.
Yeah, if we don't see a push down in the next 5 minutes, then I'm just going to close.
What did you get in? Did you get in buys?
I got in sells because I had the same analysis that Gurjot had.
Oh right. Okay. Sorry, I thought you meant using buys.
No.
Oh no, I think for sales, I think wait for this 15-minute to close and then see. Because ideally, you'd want the 15-minute to close back in the range. Otherwise, if it forms support and closes bullish, then maybe you want to take something off because it's you haven't got a candle in your direction.
Yeah.
That's
right
what I would. That's what I would just advise you. Obviously, you do you, bro. But I'm just that's what I would advise.
30-minute hasn't even made a low yet either. So I don't think there's no further confirmation to go down yet.
Yeah.
Hey, Paul, can you switch to the 15-minute for a second, please?
Mm-hmm.
So, the last 15-minute that went down, the big one,
Mm-hmm.
the candle that we're on now closed bullish, and then it went down.
Yeah.
So, if this candle closes bullish, I would say it's no indication of whether it's going down or up. I'm looking at this.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, no, I don't use closes. I think the candles, lows and highs are better. But that bullish close would technically mean support.
But of course, if you were in a sell here, you got drawdown.
Well, yeah, I mean most trades. There's very few where you get in perfectly with no drawdown. But yeah,
it was great. It was a great trade.
It was. It played out great. As soon as you broke that 15-minute. So once this one closed bearish, we need to see a new low confirming price is going to continue to move down to wherever it moves down to. That's where you map your target out. This one, no new low. This one, we got a new low now. So we come down. And it actually broke the high and the low. So when we see that, we know there's going to be typically a pretty strong move coming after that. But yeah.
And some guy just got this pending order idea.
What's up? Can't even hear the music.
I just got out just because it wasn't moving in the time frame that I would like. So minimize my losses.
Yeah, I would agree.
Got out for a small loss.
Are you still angry, John?
Yeah, I'm 0.5 pips away from getting hit.
Why'd you put your stop loss there?
Me?
Yeah.
Mine was above the current 15-minute, but with spread, I gave a little bit more room to breathe.
Okay. Who's ever typing, gotta mute your mic when you type. Entry at the break of here. Okay. I think that makes sense. I'm assuming that would be the break of that bearish 15-minute.
Yo,
Yeah.
what's good?
Yo, bro.
We saying H.
No, bro. What you saying?
How we looking this evening, people, man?
What up, D-boy?
Lovely.
Evening, H, Gerds, Paul.
Everybody's better wake up
Oh,
now.
DJ, Ping D-boy. Is this the
Hmm?
start of your night, start of your day? You know that. Come on. I used to be like that, man.
You sound like an old man.
Night out. Now I just stay up all the time. I don't sleep.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, you lot forget over here it's like 12 o'clock.
Midnight.
So since D-Boy's here, Paul, can you switch it to the 4 hour and squeeze it small, please?
He said that. How you doing, bro?
No, because I want to discuss this thing that happened after yesterday.
Let's get into it. Let's go.
I have a thing to say with D-Boy.
Uh-oh.
Can you switch it to 4 hour?
Yeah, yeah.
And a little smaller. So I can see more. More.
Oh my god. Good?
More because I need to see the top.
There you go.
And squeeze. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so there was this guy in this trade yesterday, and I think he was buying GJ at some point and in profit and almost getting ready to close. And some guy came into the chat and said, you know, you need to trade with the trend, otherwise you're gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
And this guy's been trading for 30 years, so he trades how he trades, and he mumbled, "I'm not a trend trader."
Yeah.
So anyway, you've got. I'll get to the point after a few rambles.
Well, this is a downtrend, by the way. I
Yes,
shared.
that was his point. Here's this trend line, and it was a downtrend, but then it slightly broke the trend line, and we don't know if it's going up, and the up move has not confirmed yet. But so now, if it breaks the top on the 4 hour, this trend line would be valid, okay? And you'd get kind of a channel going up here. You'd have a higher high. You'd have a higher high.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd be looking for a higher low. So you'd be looking for something like this. And so on and so forth. And then people would say, oh, the trend is changing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so
Into an uptrend, right?
so go back to the 1 hour, please, Paul. Because we had this thing yesterday. We had this real fun thing yesterday. And by the way, the bottom line for yesterday is that yes, it did push up, and it pushed up enough to get some profit, but then it made a double top and it came way the heck down, and it even broke the bottom.
Okay then.
So you got this double top, which was confirmed here by breaking the neckline, and we broke the freaking bottom.
Yeah.
Freaking amazing. Okay. Anyway, that's all I'm gonna say, because that's
So who won? Now, hold up.
who won.
Who won?
A bear walks into a market, a bull walks in the market. Who won?
Obviously, the bear and I said it was going down. So what happened?
Who knows how to dance?
Trade your plans, I'd say.
I think I'll take that as a win. I'll take it as a W.
Someone just said the broker won.
That's true.
I said it was going down, though. I did tell you it was going down.
Indeed.
I did say it was bearish.
I'll be back in a sec.
And it broke. Yes, it broke.
That bottom support that he couldn't get through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12 times.
Yeah, that was a massive move. Did you catch it? Yeah, bro, did you catch that move?
I think we're coming up. I think we're just messing around right now. I think we're ready to come up.
Yo, how's everybody feeling in the Zoom chat, man? How is people? How are we?
Yeah, I'm good,
Fantastic.
bro.
Excited to catch these picks.
Excelente.
Ready for some volume.
I'm just chilling. I'm not in no trades. I'm just.
Who's over in Birmingham, man? About big up Birmingham. Who's over in Birmingham? And is that Birmingham, Alabama, or is that Birmingham, UK? You know we got a... Oh, okay, I see. Patrick B for Birmingham.
What's happening, D-boy?
What you saying, bro?
What's that song? Birmingham and Birmingham?
Oh no, that must be an American song.
I
Hey,
thought
Regis,
it was-
where's you?
I thought it was a London song.
BJ, how come you keep laughing, man?
You're funny, D-boy. You make Asian session fun.
That's dope. That's what I like to hear, man.
Life's too serious as it is, right?
Exactly. Keep
Everybody-
trading
As
fun.
long as we can have fun and cap pitch at the same time. Oh Lord.
Where are you from, D-boy?
I'm from London.
Nice. Nice.
Is that London,
there you
that's
go.
Africa or London, UK?
I'm out.
Born and bred, and that's London, UK, not London, USA.
There's a East London in South Africa.
Oh, I heard about it. Yeah, I've been there. I've been South Africa. I've been Joburg. I've been St. Petersburg, Cape Town, Sun City, Shantytown. I fought over there, man.
D-boy, you know there's a London in Canada too?
Nah, that's just you lot pretending to be from London, bro.
I don't know, something about these London people, bro. They're just. Oof.
Whoa, what's going on there?
Oh.
Paul just
Whoa,
offended
whoa,
half of his
whoa.
group.
There's
Oh,
a couple, man. There's a
Stream went
couple
down. Oops,
people
gotta go,
in there.
guys. Bye.
What's the deal with Forex in the UK? Why is it so much, it just seems so much more popular?
I don't know.
It's something to do with
A
the
lot more
crumpets.
advertised.
It's the
Oh,
We
crumpets.
get more
There's a lot more advertising. I think people want to weigh up, man, of going for that grind every day of, you know,
Yeah.
going to work and just working for the man, I suppose. People are waking up, man, daily.
Yeah. I couldn't even believe, like, here in Canada, telling how many people, like, I'm starting to trade Forex and getting into it, and they don't even know what the word means.
Yeah, because they still
I
sleep.
100% agree with you. I was shocked too when people didn't know what it was.
Yeah, they're sleeping. They're sleeping.
Yeah.
Like, people have woke
It's a
up
very
over it.
slept on industry, honestly.
Huh?
It's a very slept on industry.
And do you know the maddest thing about that, VG? You know how much people say, oh yeah, but if it was so easy, or if everyone knew about it, why aren't they doing it? Well, obviously not everyone knows about it, so obviously they don't know how to do it.
It's also a lot of people, they don't have the basic financial literacy to do this, and then they go off and say, well, it's a scam, and that's how they kind of justify it.
That's the
Instead
maddest.
of actually trying to go out and learn what Forex is.
That's the maddest bit about it. oh, it's a myth, it's a scam,
Yeah.
it's a fraud. Like,
Nah, man, it just requires a little bit of your brain cells, which a lot of people lack. But you know,
Not a lot
we're
of
not
people
here
have
for
a lot of
that.
those though, so they're
We're here for that.
sparingly to come by.
Yeah, I'm looking at how this 30 minutes going to close in the next 3 minutes.
Yep.
If it closes bullish, then now I can start getting a much better entry for
And stop.
buys.
And stop.
And
Yeah,
a
I
better
think
stop. And I was going to say stop as well, but it means entries like that entry is kind of just already taken into account your stop loss. Do you know what I mean? It's the best
Yep.
entry point, isn't it?
Yeah, entry is a good entry because of the stop loss.
Yeah, because if you enter at the top of this wick, where's your stop going to be? It's going to be a bit of a big stop. So, you know, if this candle closes just like this now, this would be a nice close for me.
Yeah, if it closes above here, then I might enter
Yeah,
it. For
especially-
the 30-minute.
Yeah, especially if the next candle does respect the low of this 30 minutes.
so we got
Are you
So
gonna
if
enter
it just
that?
doesn't run, I just want it to stay where it is right now.
Are you gonna enter that, Harrison?
Yeah, I'll probably get in if we cut. But I want to definitely see a bottom wick. I'm gonna, because, yeah, just want to make sure.
Yeah, I don't know. The whole thing looks like it could be a break and retest, and then we could push down.
Yeah, I mean,
here we go again.
I don't know.
Exactly, D-boy. It's a market.
Yeah, it's a problem, man.
You guys need to get a room.
Back in the range.
So D-boy, are we bearish or bullish today?
Yo, that's a great question, my brother.
I think we're bearish and bullish.
I think if we make a new high, we're bullish.
Go work for a broker.
I think a pending sell underneath the previous 15 candle, 1 pip below. So if it never gets hit, then
Yeah.
Give me a minute. Let me see where the close is on this
like
candle.
a pending sell right here.
No. Under these 30 minutes, I agree. Oh, okay, I see your line now. Yes, I like that. I think that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I'm thinking is we was bullish yesterday's open. So maybe that's like the tone for the week. I don't know.
But when you look at this, like what's in front of us, I don't know what that is.
Well, this is bullish right now. We're above resistance. And we've rejected it so far. So if this candle closes on bullish, then this rejection is invalid. With if you take the most recent information that the price is giving you. But if this candle then flips back bearish, now we can say, yeah, this is definitely a rejection because look, we're now tapping into this.
I think we're
Right
going to see
now,
this.
this is a really weak bullish close again.
I think we're going to see a wick below to give the hourly a better bottom wick and test that area I was talking about earlier. And then this will be a rocket ship and we're going to break above and go up.
Yeah.
That's what I would anticipate.
Yeah, look, it's already starting to come down and break the lows here. So
Hourly didn't really go anywhere though. If you look at it, it didn't go down and push off of anything. It didn't really. It's just been sitting here, so it's maybe going to push off from here to go here. But then why did we come up here, kind of thing?
Yeah.
So it looks like we're kind of just higher low, higher high, pulling up to this area here.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing as well is that
I have no real opinion today.
What I meant was all of this. Like, what is this? Like,
yeah, that's all garbage, but we're not. Well, that's not really garbage.
That's what
I don't think it's fair calling it garbage. I think if it gets a higher high, then it's an uptrend. But at this point, you can't because you've got this, and you've got this. So you don't have a higher high calling it an uptrend.
No, but the way I see it is the way we're setting up is.
So you could call it garbage.
Yeah, but if we're breaking the highs over here, then we're definitely bullish because we've closed now two. I've waited for two bullish closes above resistance.
I think if we break this previous 30-minute wick, I think we're gonna go up to the other wick and then see.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit more risky.
I'm not
So the
gonna.
bottom line for
closes,
me is,
but
can it push up 10 or 15 pips? Yes.
yeah, I definitely.
Can it push down 10 or 15 pips? Yes.
The way we're setting up is we're just waiting for the volume to take us there. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like, but at the same time, it's also rejecting it.
Mhm.
Up. There you go.
Yeah. The way I look at it is I entered when it broke this previous 30-minute low, right? To continue
Same.
heading down.
Oh, you got sells. Okay, I got buys.
No. I'm saying like when my previous trade I was in. So I entered when this 30-minute broke the low for sells, right? Then the next 30-minute.
It was 410.
What?
My entry was 410.
Nice. Better than me.
What's that?
I said my entry was at 410.
Yep. Yeah, I know. I said nice.
Oh, 410.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I got in buys.
Yeah,
Yeah, so-
I put a smaller on it.
Yeah, spread kind of put me in at 456. So.
I'm just gonna set TP.
Yeah, so my thoughts were this. So I entered a sell when it broke this 30-minute low, right? And theoretically this previous past 30-minute should have closed bearish at least somewhere halfway down the body, at least something, right? Just close bearish. The fact that it didn't close bearish, I wouldn't look for a sell entry unless you see a 30-minute closing bearish in your direction and then the break of the low of that. That's how I'm viewing at this point. Because then if it were going down, this previous 30-minute should have done it at least close bearish. It shouldn't have closed bullish.
Shouldn't have broke the high.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So we'll see. I think I like it.
I gotta stay out of this one because I gotta follow my plan. I can't take back-to-back trades within an hour, so it looks like it's pretty good probability to come up though.
Mm-hmm.
Good discipline, bro.
That's that Wall Street. I ain't no wolf yet though. I'm like a cat of Wall Street.
You're like a kitty cat.
A nice entry would have been on the 50-minute when it broke the high of the previous bearish 50-minute, indicating that's resistance for me and that technically we're going to continue heading further up.
You mean that it's support forming?
That was my entry.
No, something resistance. So like if we broke this high of this previous 50-minute, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like theoretically we should have broken the high and we should have actually continued down and broken the low, right? But the fact that we broke the high, like it's not resistance. And it's basically, yeah, like you said, it's support for me, like how you're saying.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we can see a nice bullish run here. Yeah, I've been waiting for these buys.
Yeah, coming up.
That 5 minute looks amazing.
I feel like it's gonna
When
It's trying to-
stop.
it's trying to pull towards these wicks up here to fill it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of do that daily wick fill.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday we saw Asian Open was bullish, so imagine if Asian Open takes us further.
Asian Open did a full retrace on the previous almost full 1 hour candle and then flip bullish, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. We're up to 658 viewers. Let's keep getting those likes up. We'll hit 1K and then we can get closer to that giveaway.
So my target is 132,400. That is would be my TP, and then obviously I'll take partials at like 10.
Sorry, buddy, what was your target?
My target was 132,400.
400?
Sorry,
Okay, yes,
650.
Hold on, what?
Sorry.
No worries.
Read that wrong. Oh, nice. Nice push.
Do you usually go for 10, 12, 15 pips, or would you go for
10 pips.
This looks like it's coming up to break that hourly high, which would be, oh, he just did. Right, yes, this is P.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Oh,
I'll
yeah,
secure
GG.
partial.
yeah, man.
Yep,
Yeah,
I
man.
just secured 80, and I'm went break even. Ain't playing. Let's go. I had 2 10 lots on that. Ugh, that was enough. I'm
I'm
out.
gonna trail my stop loss here.
No, I just went break even. That was. This area is messy enough. I'm gonna take something over nothing.
I secured full,
Yeah, secure. I'm done.
but I didn't get to do my proper
I haven't
risk. So
secured yet.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, dang.
Rocketed up. Oof.
What's that trade that you said you wouldn't get into, though?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I secured half at 500. Now looking for 550 to secure more. 50%. No. It came back.
No, he's laughing, man.
That was beautiful. I wish spread gave me a better entry. It actually had me at 456, 457. So I think I
That was
secured.
quite a push.
I secured at about 8.5 pips.
Wow. Great trade.
hmm
Nice trade.
one of those? If not, I do.
Yeah, my spread's kind of dummy on this one.
Thank you for the like, Sabucio.
I only got up about 7 or 8.
Yeah, I secured at 8.
Do you close manually, Paul?
Yeah, with the magic keys. So, yeah, the what I put today was not normally what I like to do, but what I meant to do was press open trade and and not press double trade. But while I was setting this up, before this 30 minutes started, I forgot that I switched it to do 1.5% risk, so it was less than my normal 2, which I normally do. But then I pressed open trade and double trade, forgetting I changed the risk of the one position, so it was a little higher than I wanted.
Instead.
Good thing you worked out.
Yeah, so it was at 3% instead of 2, which is normally where it's at, but that's why I also got out sooner.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
The only reason I was asking was when I'm not sure what magic key, I do partial TP with the magic keys at 10 pips. I don't know if that's closing at the ask or the bid price. I don't know if I'm getting a pip or 2 less, depending on my spread.
Can you say that again? I missed it.
You know, when you do the partial TP
Yep.
on magic keys,
Okay, let me press it and see. Oh, okay. Not gonna press it.
mine's got it set at, normally it's like 15 pips. I've set it to 10 pips. Do you know if that closes at the ask or the bid price?
Once, I don't know, whatever your MT4 spread is at, I only have one line on mine showing, so whenever that line hits it is when it taps it out.
Yeah, I've got to double check that. Yeah, I don't know if I should be incorporating spread into it, so that
Definitely be incorporating it for your stop loss, but I don't use the partial TP. I just I use close custom, take 80% off or 85%, and then SL at entry. So as soon as I close something, I just make it break even right away, which is basically my partial TP.
yeah. I'll just try and
Usually it's going to be at the bid for buys and at the ask for sells.
Yeah, I was just trying to automate that so I don't have to press twice. I'd do like a partial TP, and I've set, as soon as it hits the partial TP, I've done auto break even as true on the settings. So it does both those at the same time.
So the real question would be, is it if it's net of spreads or not?
Yeah, just a minor niggle I need to figure out, yeah.
What if we run up and break resistance? That would be wild. What are the odds?
50-50.
Thank you.
Boy,
Thank
give the
you.
guy a medal, man. Somebody give him a medal.
I just took a bow. Hold up.
You
There
just
you
took
go.
a buy now?
A bow.
Oh, I was about to lecture you if you just took a buy right now.
No,
Yeah,
a bow.
You know better than that.
Yes, sir. Who taught me better than that?
Mm-hmm.
Putting the eye in YouTube.
Anybody got runners going?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I haven't even secured yet.
Nope.
Careful with open coming in.
Yeah,
I think
know,
you're-
I'm
I think
breaking even, but
I think
just my damn
something's
spread.
better
I'm
than
just
nothing.
I'm just gonna see how this candle closes.
All
You didn't
right.
hit 10 pips yet, Harrison?
No, I'm not even up 10 yet.
You should be really close. I secured at 8, and this is higher than that.
I got such a, I got a good entry, but I don't get why.
Where'd you
Spread's
get
like,
Where'd you
spread
enter
for
at?
me is like 2 pips.
Hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, mine's 9 right now.
Abbott Avenger.
I
It's
should be up at like 10.
oh my god. About to make me pop a blood vessel. Whew.
Yeah, I'm up,
Almost
I'm up
lost your
7.
your little moderator thing for that. I was about to have a heart attack.
Maybe we're gonna run up, or who knows.
I mean, we're already up here, so the idea would be Asian Open's going to further this push to resistance if we don't hit it in 16 minutes, which I think we might. We'll get closer. And then Asian Open's going to either further it through resistance or it's going to take it right back down to support at 132, 250 area.
Hmm.
Can I explain the trade? So the idea was this one closed right at resistance, and as we talk about every live stream, we don't make higher highs and higher lows if this is resistance. This wicked above here, which in my eyes, if this was resistance and we were coming down, we should have stayed under here, like just with a wick, worst case scenario. And the fact that this one pushed right up to here, leaving this as kind of like our next target, and then we had this weak bullish close. So if we have a weak bullish close right near what you could say could be resistance, then if this is resistance, this needs to break the low and not the high. But since we have 3 higher lows in a row, this one higher low, this one didn't make a new low or a new high, didn't really do anything. This one didn't make a new low and made a new high here. The idea was we should at least get to here and then come up towards this wick here. So once we had a new high to the previous candle, kind of had our targets mapped out, good stop loss. That is what it is. Wow.
Uh-oh.
Asian did not open for Tokyo Open has not, unless no, we still have 15 minutes for Tokyo Open. So
Pulling back.
almost hit me.
No, I think we'll be
That's
right.
why I just secured all of it.
Yeah, I secured a lot, so I'm gonna see if we can hit that target. Cause I'm curious if we do break above here, where would we go, kind of thing.
That's my new game now, man. I'm just
133.
133, yeah, exactly. So I mean, I'm just gonna leave a little bit on just in case GJ wants to move really good. I don't think it's gonna happen, but you don't actually know. And if it does go, then I got a little something in, and it'll look super cool. But yeah, I secured everything I wanted to make today. I've already secured. So if this hits stop loss and break even on the runner, it doesn't even matter. But if it runs super good, that'll be cool.
On the 15-minute, we're kind of retracing. So if after the market opens, we come right back up, I'll probably look for a re-entry after it makes a little support here and then continues back up.
There's also a tiny JPY industrial production news in 5 minutes. Didn't do anything yesterday, but maybe watch when it comes out.
That is also using.
Did anyone look at the unemployment stats?
That is also using last month's data. Both of those news are using last month's data, so that's already priced in for us.
What, with the unemployment as well?
Yeah.
Unemployment was 2.9 and projected was 2.8, so that's pretty much bang on.
Bang on. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's released 30 days after the month ends. And so is the industrial production. It tells you when you click on the folder, it tells you frequency released monthly about 30 days after the month ends. So all this news is about last month's data. And it's already priced in for us. So we've already traded past that data basically.
How, if it wasn't released yet?
It's last month's data, so the price would have already we would have already had that in their technicals. That's what the technicals indicate.
But if it wasn't released yet, how do we know that what it was until they release it?
Because this is like a compilation from different industries, right? And then you start seeing this news come out with, like, for example, different stocks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got you. So that's like a summary, and then we're getting bits and pieces live throughout the month.
Yeah, like the stock market, for example, you have all these manufacturing companies and all that stuff, and then you start seeing the news about those companies come out, right? And then at the end, this is basically a compilation of all that information and telling you how that microeconomic news, like the stock market news, like how is that affecting the overall macroeconomic of this currency? That's all this is.
Good to know.
And that is our news round for
The 1 minute fundamentals with VJ.
and VJ. We'll be back soon.
Yes.
Roger didn't pick that buy. I guess he's disappeared. Gorjot, the guy who was in sell.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk up.
You took the buy?
Yeah, I got in, but for 8 pips secured everything, I didn't get to set my proper risk because it was from the previous trade, so it was nothing big.
Okay, nice.
In the blue for today, but it was the reduced risk one, so it was nothing big. I'm just sitting here now watching. Because I explained it on the 30-minute. Paul, you here?
Yeah.
I'll explain why I took the buy right after I took the sell. The sell first was a
Terrible trade.
test entry.
It's a terrible trade. Is that what you were gonna say?
Yeah, it was, but
Okay.
I'll explain exactly.
What, you took a buy? What, you took a sell and then a buy?
No, I took a sell before and then it got a head out.
Yeah, so you said.
I was testing
And you
it.
took a buy.
Yeah, I got the buy, just like you guys.
That's something you said you would never do, bro.
I'll explain. That's what I just said. I'll explain it. The first entry was a test entry. It was like a reduced risk.
Kill D boy, kill.
All right, let's
Can
hear
you
it.
go on the
What's up?
30 minute?
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is what I was looking at. I'll go over it for you to chat. So when none of this was here, okay? So I looked at this possible rejection because I've seen GG kind of do this where he broke out of the range to create room to continue heading further down. So I looked at a sell once he broke this previous 30-minute, right, to continue heading further down. I got hit though. It was 5 pips, reduced risk, nothing big. One of the reasons why I didn't feel confident in this trade was, and why I did reduce risk, was if you look at the 4-hour, it broke the previous 4-hour high. So my bias was biased because of my 4 rule, and also it's just been creating higher lows. Like this is a higher low from all the way down there. There's a higher low you can't see right now, and then the next thing was this. The reason why I took a buy is if I was looking for sells, this current 30 minutes should have came down and closed bearish, right? It didn't close bearish at all, indicating that it's not creating a resistance to head further down. And the fact that when Paul was talking about it also, he said that this current 30-minute that we're on right now broke the 30-minute high, which is indicating that there is no resistance for him to continue heading further down, which you can watch on the 50-minute. If you switch on the 50-minute, Paul. So if you see on the 50-minute, a nice entry for a buy, I would have said is above the break of the bearish 50-minute, and because technically, if we were if this was going to be resistance, 1 second, sorry. If this was going to be resistance, we would have broken the low and not the high.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So
Yep.
that's why I took this out. It was a reduced risk, nothing big, and then I quickly caught the buy, 8 pips. So I made back anything that I lost, but it was the buy I call was reduced risk also. So that was my analysis behind that. And I'll be right back.
What do I think when 0.580 breaks? I mean, I think if we break it, we go up. I don't know exactly where we're going up to. I think our next target is kind of like this 650, 700 area. And then from there, I believe that's that's kind of a very strong area. So if we get above there, I think we're going to see a good little bullish run up to like 133 flat maybe. Yeah, somewhere in this area is where I would expect us to go to if we break here. But with the way everything looks, I think this level is going to be held. We might not even push higher than we have right here. So, and then that would be a fail to fill that. Oh, daily wicks at 689, so 30-minute. Yeah, so the daily wick fill is up here. Is it this one? Yeah, okay. No? Okay, yeah, so up there. But we'll see. If we break here, we'll probably continue to push up a little bit. I mean, we got clean traffic up to the left, so if we go, it'll be a nice move above here. But ideally, I see this being respected over being broken. But we don't actually know what's going to happen until we get there. We just have what's happened in the past. So hopefully the runner stays in. It's literally right there.
Oh, I never thought I'd see the day Gers breaks his rules, man.
Yeah. We do fill this wick and keep going up. That'd be a nice tap up there. But looking like we're kind of pulling back for open or gonna be kind of like a fake out up top to come back down, which we've seen GJ do. So
yeah, GJ comes down right before or pushes back up right before the session opens, and then it goes the opposite way, and then it'll come right back up.
yeah.
I need to find another entry.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the same thing, people.
I'm about to take out my runner. Alright, runners are out. That sucks. It was a nice quick little move.
Yeah, for now, I ain't even playing with runners, man. I'm just gonna try and secure everything. Everything.
Yep, yeah, small runner's basically a percentage of the original position that you have left running, ideally risk-free or with some sort of trailing stop.
Oh, someone asking on the
Yeah.
on the stream.
Yep.
Yeah, I actually didn't. I got stopped out. I didn't even get to secure.
What?
Yeah, I couldn't secure because I wasn't at 10 pips. I got to like 6, 7.
But what was your stop loss?
Oh,
Wasn't your
would
stop
you?
loss only 6 pips?
My stop loss was like, yeah, 7.
So then 1 to 1 would have been 7. So you could have secured 1 to 1 at 7.
Yeah, I know, but I just always secure it at 10. That's just like, do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
One of your rules.
Regardless of the stop loss, I just always secure at 10.
And then does that mess up your risk to
Not
reward ever?
really.
No.
Not really. No, because then I got stopped at break even, so I just didn't take a loss. So I just see that as a positive.
Yep.
But had I let it play out, then obviously I would have taken the loss and didn't secure. But like when it goes that much into your profit, I don't think you should let it go into drawdown by that point.
Yep.
And I think that's what's helped me progress to keep losses small, try and minimize losses as well. I know like I've just been stopped out, but it's one of those just one of those ones really.
So do you have a limit for your stop loss size then? So if you're always securing at 10, do you never go over 10?
No, I do go over 10. I know you might say, oh, that's less than risk to reward, but just the way I see it is more in terms of like the probability. So I'm gonna take the same setup, I just adjust stops and I look at that type of thing at the time. But if the trade is usually more than maybe 15 pips, then I won't take it.
Gotcha.
And but if it's less than 15, then 5 pips, because I will not take a 15 pip loss. I'll probably
minimize it.
I'll minimize it, and I'll close 50% once I'm starting to come into a drawdown and it's not doing what you're anticipating. So it's never going to hit full stop loss anyway. So I just trade the plan, and then I just keep the pips that I profit when you secure. Like I keep that consistent, and I keep the same, minimizing losses, and just keep it all consistent. And you know, it might not work out to the on this particular occasion, but another time it might. So
or for the long run it'll work out anyway, right?
Yeah, because you're not taking as many losses. Because the thing is like, okay, I did come up 7 pips, and then you might argue, well, you could just hold it to see if it plays out. But then my argument would be, then you're trading with emotion, because now you would just want to be right.
Yep.
Whereas it did what you got in because you're expecting it to go into profits. You didn't get in to expect it to go into a drawdown, and then wonder. So why stay in to be in a drawdown? We'll just close at break even.
Yep. Yeah, I totally agree with that. I would just say, because of like how I was saying, you were at 1 to 1 at 6 or 7 pips, and then you still secure at 10 when it's like maybe a 15 pip stop loss. But I'm sure the times that you have a bigger than 10 pip stop are less than when it's at 15. So you probably have more trades within the 5 to 10 pip stop loss, and you're still securing at 10. So you're still hitting probably 2 to 1 or 1.5 to 1 on those, which probably cancels out those extra 5 pips on the occasions you do have those bigger stops by 5 extra pips.
Yeah, no, I see what you're trying to say. It makes sense.
Yeah.
But like just now, H, yeah. So what did you say when you came back down to the drawdown state? Was you already break even already, or what?
No, so once I saw it started retracing, I was watching it. I then went break even because I didn't want to go into drawdown once I'd already been nearly up to my profit point. I'm not just gonna hold it at that point. It's just it is what it is, I suppose.
I actually spoke about that with a friend today, and he was like, "Yeah, well, if I believe it's gonna go where it's gonna go, I believe that I may as well just leave it to go into drawdown, knowing that it's gonna come back to where I needed to go to. But I said, yeah, but wouldn't you just stop it prior to it getting to drawdown so that it's still not an L?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, the point is that when you're doing that, you want to be right. You want to be right. You wanna say, I analyze this gonna go to this area. Like, I don't care if I get stopped out and then it runs to TP, because then I can say, once again, I can feel more confident in my analysis that I have identified what I thought price was going to do, what I looked for, I executed. It didn't play out, but it did what I planned it and thought it was going to do. So, in my books, that's a good session. That's a great session, and I'm going from there.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know
His
what I mean?
argument was, I'd rather just leave it to do what it does, you know, so, because I believe it's going to go there and it needs breathing space. Where I was like, wouldn't you just stop it out prior to it going into drawdown? You haven't taken an L and you've still got space to go again once it comes back out of drawdown.
Mm-hmm. See, the thing is, if you're always constantly taking entries where you're, you know, when you take a buy or a sell, you're expecting price to push from your entry point, right? So if you keep it in the sense that once you start going into a fair amount of profit, you want to not lose anything, you're going to see a lot less losses. You might see, you might have the odd one or two a week that probably get stopped out before you can secure, but most of the time it's going to run to a 10, 12 pip. It's going to run 10, 12 pips, and you can secure positions at those, and then you're going to have more constant profits, and then you're going to minimize your losses. So when you do take an actual loss where it runs from your entry and you're just wrong, then you want to try and minimize it.
Yeah, I think that looks good for EJ. It looks like it's kind of at a resistance right now. So I think if you get a bearish close with a new low, it looks like you're kind of tapped into this area right here. So if you go bearish again, you got clean candles down to that support. Maybe you enter up here, secure profits at support, make it risk-free, and leave that runner to go possibly down to here. Yo, who's ever typing?
Sorry.
Thank you. Oh, that was you? I don't know if we did it last time. Yeah.
I know I did about last time, but I know.
No, someone was typing really loud earlier too. We already got one keyboard that does that. So that's what I would look at on EJ. I even think sells for GJ underneath here are going to be perfect down to support again. Because then it just like the hourly just kind of exhausted itself. This was kind of like a fake out close above, and then we can't sustain above, so we fall back to support. And if we look on the 15-minute, we got really clean candles. So I think if you put a sell under here, down to here, that's a nice 12 pips, 11.5 pips. I think that's perfect. And if this breaks that would be a very good trade in my opinion, because we see it every day in Asian. We closed above, closed back below. Also tapped into resistance up here. Couldn't make a higher high, lower low. About to break these lows, clean traffic, sells. So if I were to take another one, it would be selling underneath here. Stop loss on this candle, so that gives you about a 9 pip stop, 10 pip stop, 15 pip gain. I think that would be a very nice trade. I think it'd be a very nice trade.
My pending order is still there from our last
Yep,
discussion.
I think that's going to be a beautiful trade. Because you
I
got
just jumped in on the break of the previous 15-minute with a pretty tight stop, anticipating that we're just gonna go right now, just like get some momentum.
Nice.
We got a pretty tight entry right here with a stop right about there.
I think that looks good. We're below there, so if we're truly going down, we should not come back and flip this candle. So I think you're good. That would be what I would be looking at.
These first 15 minutes of open though are always kind of tricky because then right after the 15-minute you can see the price come right back down. So I would wait for the 15-minute close.
Yeah, if this 15 closes on here, I think we are Gucci.
My pending is at 132.372.
You didn't
Euro
get it yet?
dollar.
With like just did it tap you in or not yet?
Let me check.
Because it tapped 372 almost exactly.
I'm not in yet.
Okay. If you want to wait for the close, you can, but by doing that, you may miss this move if it's quick. Just be aware of that because once price, now that it's made this low, if we're coming down, we should come down. But a close under here would probably be good. But the fact that this candle just broke an hour and a half of lows makes sense to come down. But also, like Sharma said, this first 15 minutes of the hourly, typically you want to let that set up
SPX.
before you jump in at a new high or new low. So if this 15 were to close like this, and then the next one breaks above, then I think we'll see that wick fill and we'll push up to support here. UJ looks really, really good to come down. Yeah, if UJ gets under here, that was... So when I checked my phone at like 4:30 before the live stream, an hour before, I had UJ up for some reason. And I thought GJ looked like this, and I was like, oh my god, GJ is going to be amazing sells underneath here. And then I realized it was UJ, and I don't trade UJ, so... But UJ sells, I think, look good. Which, if UJ does come down, it would make sense for GJ to also come down for Asian session.
If this candle decides to, like, this is kind of like the kick you in the nuts kind of wick. If this decides to come back up.
Mm-hmm. Yep, just like yesterday, the first 15 minutes of the hourly, it's always best to let it set up. I do think we are coming down, but it might kick you in the nuts first and then play out. I think a stop loss with where you entered.
Pretty aggressive.
No, not aggressive, but a 5 pip stop, and you could have had a better stop above the previous one and only had an 9 pip stop. I think you were better off risking those or leaving those extra 5 pips for a better stop loss because your target is still 15-20 pips. So to have a super tight stop like that, I think you could have had a little bit better of a stop, and then you could have just minimized it right away. Because now there's no minimizing that you can do because you kind of maximized your stop loss placement to make the reward better, but now you can't manage it as best as you could if you put it up here.
I agree. Yeah, absolutely.
But if this wasn't the first 15, I think that would have been a perfect idea. But typically that first 15 of the hourly does really just mess around because it's kind of setting up the highs and lows that it wants to establish. So if this hourly is setting up just making a better bottom wick for those previous 2 hours to then push up, then that bottom wick kind of just screwed you. If it made this bottom wick breaking the lows and now it's just kind of retesting this area here, then it dances and then comes down, that makes sense too. But the first 15 of the hourly, I've always noticed it's always best to just let that set up and then look to get in on the new highs and lows.
Yeah, I just got out.
Because if you look on the hourly or the 30, this hourly has a really long wick to the top. So this has, it has to go up almost 10 pips to break it. So if it pushes up about 6, 7, 8 pips, doesn't break it, makes a lower high, comes back down, then you have a lower high here, lower low, and then you'll come down. So that first 15 minutes kind of gives it time to establish a bottom or top wick, kind of go test the highs, test the lows, and then where it goes after that will kind of be where the hourly ends up going. Especially for Asian session. In New York session, it's a little different because you're going to get more volume. Normally, I mean, New York lately, not very likely, but typically New York is a little different than Asian. The first 15 minutes of the hourly is always best to just let it kind of do its thing first, and then look to jump in. How would you say it's best to judge to take on the break of lows or wait for the close? I think figuring that out depends on what you're comfortable with. For me, candle closes don't make me feel comfortable in a trade. I like to see price breaking new highs or new lows to previous candles, showing that right now, as I'm entering, price is continuing in the direction I want it to go in. Where a close is just, I mean, closes work, but we have this bullish candle here. So technically we have support and we have clean traffic up to maybe here. No new high established, price comes right back down. We get a bullish candle, kind of clean traffic. This is messy, but just looking at closes, bullish candle, you take a buy, put your stop loss wherever you put it. Goes up, comes back, you got to sit through all this. Probably would have ended up closing somewhere in here or trying to manage your stop. But again here, another bullish candle with a better stop. Didn't really go anywhere. This one did close above, but then we did break the low. So you would have got stopped out and then continued anyways. Bullish close above resistance technically, but we tapped in here. So closes just don't really, I just don't view the market best with closes. I like the highs and lows. It really just makes me feel better in my trade. So I think if you don't feel comfortable with the closes and you're not confident in your trade, consistently confident, maybe try the highs and lows of the candle. Because I mean, you guys have seen me take countless losses on here, and I'll jump right back in the same exact trade 5 seconds later if it takes me out, if it does the new high or new low, whatever way we're taking it. And that's kind of the confidence you need, because sometimes you get tapped out and you continue. And you got to know, like, you weren't wrong, it was just maybe bad timing, you got a little unlucky, whatever it was. But if you still believe your analysis was right on that first trade, there should be no reason not to execute the same exact trade again. So I think it's good to play around with and see what you like better. Because it's really just about preference. If you're not comfortable in your trade, you're not going to get as consistent as you want to get. Because you're not going to like the feeling when you're in the trade, which means you're going to trade and react to what the market does with your emotions, not with what the chart is actually telling you. So if you got in a sell once it broke this low with a stop above here, and now it's pulling up, if you weren't comfortable with this entry, you're probably a little anxious and nervous right now that, oh my God, I was wrong. This is all bullish. It broke these lows just to trick us. And you're just going to ramble on and confuse yourself. And what's probably going to happen is this is going to make a top wick, never hit your stop, and continue down. Not saying that's what's going to happen right here, but if you were in this trade with your stop loss here, this does come down. You entered, you expected it to just rock it down, but it comes and pulls back, comes near your stop. That's when you need to understand how you react in those kind of situations. And if you react like impulsively and you're not thinking or looking at what the chart's telling you, that's when you're gonna lose money, not stay consistent, break your rules, do stuff you shouldn't, and that's what you need to avoid. So it's always good to make sure you're comfortable in your trade. So the new lows and highs make me comfortable, so it works for me. Yep, yeah, I think this could still go up, but this open candle had a little bit of volume, broke the low, but none of these candles really made any sort of real low. Plus, if we look at our 2 hour, we still have higher highs and higher lows. So ideally, the best sell is going to be somewhere from this zone here, as then that would be the higher time frame showing more bearish movement versus just this here. So when you have that higher time frame going bearish and closing bearish, and then the higher time frame making those new lows, you're going to get a better chance of your 30-minute 1 hour lows, 15-minute lows entries to hit TP more, as the higher time frame is also doing that. So you'll kind of have better movement in that direction. So as this low technically would have fit a sell entry, we're not looking for sells until we're down here, because then we know the higher time frame is moving in our direction, and then we're going to have better chance of catching a move down.
May I give some analysis real quick?
Yep. The Tokyo market opened 17 minutes ago. Yeah, you can go ahead, Gurjat.
So I'm in buys, and I know Sharma and I think Invest in Yen is in buys too. And buy analysis for buys was if you go on the 15-minute.
Rocket ship candle?
Yeah, rocket ship candle, but more necessarily that this is like now indicating that it's a stronger support than we thought. Because it came down, broke all these wicks, but then reacted and rejected it kind of to continue further up. So now I'm looking at this as a stronger support to continue further up, due to the fact that this 15-minute closed bullish, and a nice entry would have been at the break of this 15-minute, which it did. I know it didn't create a lower wick, which is fine. Even if it does come down, I played it kind of safe and took my stop loss at the previous 15-minute low. So I think this could also be the daily wick fill that's going to happen.
Yeah, I think it's possible. The only thing I would say is if we don't break here, then I don't think we're coming. Then we're going to go up.
Yeah, I think like this could possibly still come down to create the bottom wick. Once it does, and then it continues back up, I'll move my stop loss from down here to the current candle, because then I'll feel more confident to my stop loss position, and my risk would then be reduced.
Yeah, the same exact analysis, but the wick that Gurjat just pointed at, the long wick to the bottom, that kind of confirms as a strong retest for me, and then continuation up.
I personally like buys as well, but I'm not getting in until it breaks the previous 30-minute. It's not as clean of a range, but I just want to see that confirmation because we just got a strong close. So, but I think it's going up.
Also, with the massive wick to the 30 minutes, price is gonna at least pull all the way to the wick fill.
Yeah, that helped your 15 entry for sure.
Yeah, as long as you get above that wick, I think you're good.
Yeah.
Just playing the Asian session, kick you in the nuts advocate, because
yeah, this candle should be the one to push up to that price level.
Are you eyeing buys as well, Harrison, or are you done for the night?
No, I'm gonna just call it there, mate. Just gonna wait, see how this candle closes, and then I'm gonna head off.
it looks like it could just be a wick fill, and then we're going to finish pulling to this wick, tap into here, and go from there.
Yeah, because even if it closes just, say, below the wick, then I think we're just going to, like, pull back to maybe form a support, and, like, by then it's all too late. But definitely, I think 650, you'll see price definitely come up and tap into it at this point.
I know too in Asian session last night, this 6:30 p.m. candle was the one that made the move. I think I messaged you, Harrison. I saw that you caught it right at 6:30, and that's this next candle as well. So
yeah, that's true. Just if it closes the way it is, I mean, depending where the next candle produces the bottom wick would be your risk to reward, but then you're kind of, I think that it should fall down to like form a support to continue up if we can't possibly get above this current previous 30-minute wick, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'd like to see a break of this high on this candle.
Yeah.
So, I don't think I've ever even said this, but if you're not subscribed, make sure you press the subscribe button. I don't know why I've never said this. It's my channel. Every day, Sunday through Thursday, we do this. Typically, we do pretty well, I would say. And if you caught these initial buys that we first mapped out and planned and secured some profit, if you want to post a W in the chat, let's see how many people made some money tonight.
Yeah, so I'm thinking of making a new, or trying to simplify my trading and just not taking entries in the first 15 minutes of the hour, because just like Uncle Ted says as well, yeah, it's like the hourly candle is kind of setting itself up and just, you know, it's kind of doing whatever it wants. So, thinking about doing that.
Tapped that 4-hour resistance and then came right back down. I think we're gonna break past it.
I think we're gonna come down and get my sell stuff.
You should be happy it never got triggered by a tenth of a pip. That wouldn't be a good one.
Patrick, where I put those buys above? So the idea was just that this was kind of a weaker bullish close, but we had this range to go fill up here and then up here. So if we made the low and then we broke the high, that was going to be good. If we just respected this high and broke the low and came down, then there would have just been no trade. But since we broke the high, gave me confirmation that we're going to see more of a push to the upside. So that's all it was. It was just this candle with what's to the left, since this one kind of canceled out this stuff here. Once we got above here, our next target was this wick up here. So where that line was, oh, okay. So I was on the 2 hour. Previous 2 hour is bullish. So anything above here is with the higher time frame direction. So I know on the 1 hour or the 30-minute, if I buy a new high to the previous candle, that I have the higher time frame on my side pushing price up as well. So it's not just a random 30-minute high, it's the higher time frame pushing up and breaking new highs on the smaller time frame to then further the push up on, all the time frames.
Paul, do you think I should make it like a rule to not trade in the first 15 minutes of the hour, or should I just be wary about it moving forward?
Yeah, I would just avoid the first 15.
Uh-huh.
Unless you're using an hourly stop loss then. Because if you're going to use a 15-minute stop loss at an hourly open, there's a much better chance you're going to get wicked out every single time. Because that hourly needs to make a wick, and that means there's 4 15 minutes in that previous hourly candle. you kind of have a 25% chance that it's going to respect one of those. 50% chance you're going to respect two of them, and then you'll be much higher with just using the hourly or 30-minute stop.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to do it, just use a higher time frame stop loss.
Okay. I tried 2 sell attempts today. It was futile, but was disciplined, journaled. So just gonna try and learn from these trades today and try and come back tomorrow a better trader.
How come you were looking for sells?
Well, that's a good question. It was pretty evident that the 4-hour looked really bullish.
4-hour broke the previous 4-hour high too.
Yeah.
So when we enter the sells on the 30-minute for the break of the new low, which it never did till open, so I think you and Gerja both had sells. You shouldn't have been in that at all because there was no further confirmation we're going down. But on top of that, the 4-hour, which is a much higher confirmation and a higher time frame, broke a previous bearish candle, meaning there's more strength to go up. Otherwise, if we were coming down, why didn't we respect that 4-hour bearish candle? Because it was a good 4-hour bearish close.
Mm-hmm.
So I think buys were good until maybe a bearish candle at this so-called resistance, or at least down at that break of that 132.250. Would have been much better.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like I was just looking for sells, and I was looking for sells, and I kind of just shut down buys today, because I felt just watching it fake out in the last few weeks. I could see it mirroring that candle right there in the range, coming back down to support 250.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the higher time frame prevailed like it usually does most of the time. So
you traded on what you thought, not what it was showing you, right?
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I remember if you go back to like right when the YouTube stream started, I remember I was looking at the 4-hour and it was like, look at these spaceship wicks on the 4-hour.
Mm-hmm.
And then now, in hindsight, I'm like, wow, I mean, that's what I could see it was going on, but what I thought might happen is that we might fake out, but it turns out that what you think is going to happen doesn't really happen as much as what is actually happening.
Yep, that's why that 2-hour rules or 4-hour or daily is so important, because then you're going with the higher time frame direction, so you're gonna have better moves in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if we just look, kind of a random example, and it's not really what I'm trying to say, but it'll do for now. You see these 3 bearish candles coming down? See how they're the size of this one bullish candle pretty much? Where we had 3 big bullish candles coming up. So if we start body to body, we had 25 pip move up of bullish candles, just in the bodies, not the wicks. And we had about 15 pips down. And then we look at this bullish candle here again. This one candle is 12.3 pips, where these 3 are 2 more pips more. So maybe the bulls are going to have stronger, better moves to be a part of.
Mm-hmm.
So granted, I didn't do any of that analysis before I took the trade. I just visually knew that that's what the 2-hour was telling me, was that the fact that the 2-hour is making higher highs and higher lows, breaking above previous bearish 2 hours that it shouldn't do technically if we are coming down, unless it's that rare occasion where it's lying. and it also should not be breaking that 4 hour. So if we look back on all Asian sessions, when price does push up and come down, it never breaks that previous 4 hour unless it's a weak 4 hour close, which this really wasn't. And the fact that we already made a low past this one, there should be no reason, if we're coming down, that we're breaking above here. No reason. Granted, this is a big range, but just candle to candle, if we're not overthinking all of this, just the way this moved, that's why it made more sense to come up than come down unless we stayed under here, which on the 30 minute was this wick here, which this one did wick above, which was kind of our signal, hey, we're going to push up into this wick, up into here. So, but if this one broke the low here and not the high, I think those sells would have been much better. Even against the 2 hour rule, I think that would have been much better because you have your 30 minutes now making a lower high, another lower high, and a lower low. That would make much more sense to come down versus a 15 minute bearish when the 30 minute is still bullish. So that would have just been much better to look at. Yeah. 315 likes, that is great. Still not close to that 1K views yet. We'll get there eventually. Yeah, I think my advice is good. I mean, it works for me, so there's got to be someone out there in the world that what works for me will work for them, or something that works for me will work for them. So that's kind of the whole idea. I'm not the fundamental expert. I'm not the I've been doing this for 20 years. I know everything that's going to happen expert. I'm the new guy that found a way that works, and it works. So I'm sure there's people out there that also find that this kind of simplicity of just highs and lows with a higher time frame bias works very well. Yep. Yeah, price action always does decide everything, but trading the candles is the price action. You just can't, you don't know what's going to happen after you take the trade, but your idea needs to be consistent going into the way you plan it. Because then if more times than not you are right than wrong, if you're always doing the same analysis, you're going to make money. So yeah, if this doesn't make a new high and comes down, then I think we will end up falling back to support, especially with how Asian has been previous last week and just past Asians. Typically it kind of breaks through, falls back to support, breaks through, comes back to resistance. It doesn't really, it kind of inches up for a little move and then it inches down for a little move, and that's kind of Asian lately. Once we're out of this area, I think we'll be good. It's just in another crappy area like we were last week. And then this is kind of crappy, but then you just got to capitalize when it moves on these moves here.
Looks like it's kind of going down right now.
Yeah. I mean, bearish 30 minute and a new low. You're probably going to hit support.
This is what I was waiting for. Maybe. But I'm done trading though. I took 2 trades. I'm done. I'm really glad that I was disciplined tonight. Because that's more important than making money.
Yep. That's all. Even though it was, I mean, your analysis was not wrong, but you didn't win the trade. The fact that you still followed the plan should still be a win. Because eventually you're just going to figure out how to catch those winning trades. And that's easy. It's easy to figure out how to catch the winning trades. It's not easy to actually follow your plan and not break your rules when you do lose. Anyone can win a trade and call it a night, be done trading. You don't have to go try and win money back. You didn't lose. You didn't get anything taken from you. But what's your response when you do have money taken from you, or you do lose? Do you respond the same way, or not?
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta know how to take a loss for sure.
I'm gonna call it a night there, guys.
I think that's a good idea.
Cheers, Paul, for having me.
Yep,
I'll
I will
see you
see you
guys.
tomorrow.
Yeah, see everyone. Yep.
Yeah.
Well done to anyone who caught any winning trades. And if you took a loss, same again tomorrow.
Yep.
Alright, see you later.
See you tomorrow. Yep. Yeah, Tony made a really good point. John said we're almost up to 7K subs and only 500 people watching. And Tony said, shows how many people are interested in Forex but not willing to put in the work. So we consistently have 500 to 600 people every day trying to put in the work, and 6,400, 6,200 either watching later or just not putting in any work.
Dollar yen.
I'm gonna go back to the gulag and put in the work.
That's all you can do. Gerja, did you see my message about talking about that? I was doing that for a while, Patrick, and I was able to catch winning trades, but my runners never ran, and my 2-hour rule always ended up being right. So if I were to sell against that 2-hour rule, I'd maybe catch a move down to here, but then a better move from down here up, as that was just kind of the 2-hour bottom wick, and then continue up. It would have been a much better trade, as that higher time frame again is in that direction. So we should see better, stronger moves with that higher time frame. Yep, no work, no result. Yep, that's why we get better every day. Thank you, Chuck. Appreciate it. 2:37 a.m. Wow. I don't even get up that early for Monty. That's way too early. Would I suggest doing it? No, I don't. Because, I mean, even if you have to wait an extra hour to take a trade, I mean, if you think about it, if this is your job and you have to wait 1 extra hour to take a better trade, I mean, what is 1 hour really? You know, I mean, most people are at work for 8, 10, maybe 12 hours a day, and you have to wait 1 extra hour, maybe 15 or 30 minutes after that to catch a winning trade. That is with your rules. I think that's well worth it. See tomorrow, dangerous. Yeah, I would check it out. It works really good. 2 hour, 4 hour daily. Only difference is would be how long you're waiting. So with how long I'm at the charts, like per session, the 2 hour works perfect. Because if it does change direction, and I have to kind of wait for a move, I really don't have to wait as long as I would for a 4 hour or a daily to change the bias to actually take a trade. So it just allows me to participate in going both ways once that rule is met. Thanks, Tony. Appreciate it. South Africa. Wow. Yeah, I wonder where's everyone from? We haven't done that in a minute.
India. No, I'm just kidding.
Yep, exactly, Richard. Yep. Same thing every day. Mexico, well, Canada. Yeah, damn Canadians and UKers. Bangladesh. Wow. Malaysia. Jeez. That's wild. Natural teacher, thank you. Yeah, I've always wanted to do some sort of teaching or coaching. Not teaching in a school, but some sort of my own business or company and teach, help, something. I've always wanted to do something like that. So this is a good fit. 2-hour rule basically is just a higher time frame confirmation of direction, and then we just drop into the 15, 30 minute, and 1 hour to kind of pick that 2 hour apart and where the next 2 hours should go, or the current 2 hours should go, or it could go, and try to just catch a little bits and pieces of where it's going. So the 2 hour, we just, when we come to the chart, we would have a clean chart. So I'll remove all this quick. So when we come to the chart, if we were just coming to the chart right now, we jump on our 2 hour, and we say previous 2 hours bullish, so we're going to look for buys until we see a 2 hour make a new low. So with this closing in 17 minutes, if this 2 hour closes like this, your line gets moved up to the most recent 2 hour, and now it's right here. So anything under here would be, so we would go buys above here. And all this is just a visual while we're on this 30-minute time frame to see that, okay, this is our 2 hour line. We know that. So we know if we get below here, the higher time frame is now making lower lows. So maybe it makes more sense to look for sells on the 15 and the 30 minute versus looking for those buys, as the 2 hour has now broken lows of the previous 2 hour. So it's the same exact, like for our entries, it's always new highs or new lows. It's the same exact thing, but it's on the higher time frame, and that's just choosing our direction. So if we were to take a sell, let's say this closed like this, and we broke this low, we could say, okay, we're going to sell as soon as we break the low, stop loss either on the previous or whatever current we make, and we take it to our target, maybe this wick fill, maybe support. It'd be the same exact thing. So if we just pretended this was the 30 minute, once we break that low, we have a new low, we take it down. But the 2 hour just tells the direction. So I'm going to leave that there because that's probably how we're going to close. We're going to break the low, and then we have lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. Kind of tapped into this area, it seems, on the 2 hour, and just kind of been stuck there. So we got this one tapping in, tapping in, tapping in, no close above. If we do close above, we make another higher low and continue up, then the buys still make sense. Either up to here or up to here. I wouldn't hope for anything above that. If it does run, I think that would just be kind of like a lucky runner. Not really anything other than that, as it does make more sense to come down. But if it goes up, it goes up. And if you're a part of it, that's great. But once this 2 hour closes in 14 minutes, I believe, yep, then we know everything above this line, making new higher highs and higher lows, makes sense with the previous 2 hour to continue up in the direction it's going. If we make lower lows and lower highs under here, it now makes sense that the higher time frame should come down, meaning the smaller time frames will as well. That's all that means. Hopefully that helped.
Is anyone else in a buy here?
No, are you still in?
I'm
Yeah.
still in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
think I'll
reduced.
let this one run though, because with everything that you've explained, it's pretty much the same thought process, and then higher time frames. I think we're gonna come up a little bit more to at least respect the previous daily wick, if not fill it.
I just reduced my risk though. I have it under the current 15-minute low, because if it breaks that, I don't want to be in this trade based on the lower time frame on the 5 minute what I was watching.
Gotcha. Yeah, thanks, Tony. I mean, I don't. It's about understanding this, and until you do that, you're not gonna make any money. So even like showing profits, like, yeah, it shows that you're actually doing it. But if you have discipline and you actually understand what this means and you know how to follow a plan, the profits just kind of come. So, I mean, I don't think mentors need. I mean, yeah, I don't think they need to show profits, but it definitely helps for sure. But if someone can clearly read a chart and um and they just show that they know how to do that and they're disciplined, um then I think that would be good enough for me personally. Because the money does just come once you do know what you're doing. Took me one try. I passed FTMO very fast. I'll pull up your chart in a second, Elias. How often do I trade? I normally trade New York and Asian every day. Sunday, well, obviously not Sunday, but Sunday through Friday I trade. Would I say it's overtrading? Nope, I would not. If you do all three, I wouldn't say that's overtrading. I would say that's just a lot of time on the charts. And if you're struggling, maybe that's why. If you trade all three and you do fine, then clearly that's not an issue for you. Might be an issue for someone though. I think your overtrading would be more so dropping 3, 4, 5, 6 trades every session. That would be overtrading in my opinion. One question. SNR and SND. I'm guessing that's some kind of indicator, but I'm not sure. Unless you mean support and resistance or supply and demand. If that's what you mean, I think that's just a different name, to be honest. How to deal with FOMO? What do you guys think? Gurzat, Sharma, anyone in here, what do you guys think has helped you with FOMO?
You have your analysis before you come on the stream. You see us do the same thing every single day. We just stick to our plan. And then you only take the trade when you think it fits your plan. And if you have questions, you just ask. But just because we've seen how this pair moves the past couple of days, so just because you see like a huge spike up or anything like that doesn't mean that you get in, because you don't have that confirmation for yourself. So I think the most important thing is just always sticking to your plan and just being happy that even if you didn't make money that day, you didn't lose money that day.
My view on this, I agree with Sharma 100%. I also, when I was doing formal trades, I looked at the fact that every single time I took, not every single time, majority of the formal trades I did take, I lost due to the fact that I would have either gotten late or too early, and my analysis wasn't behind the formal trade. So while you're in the trade, I feel more anxious and more stressed because if it does go in drawdown, I was like, oh, well, like why did I take this trade? There's like I wouldn't have been in the stress. And if FOMO is really hard for you, and you still want to look at the charts, one thing that I do, I close my MT4 on my laptop and look at the charts on TradingView because I can't trade off a TradingView. So I close my charts where I'm able to trade, completely turn it off, and then look at TradingView if I want to continue to look at charts and be a part of the discussion.
Yeah, and you can always paper trade as well. You don't have to really put in like real money. Just paper trade, and then that way you're like, at least you still caught the trade even if it's not with real money.
Yeah.
And you learn from that, and then you're like, okay, well, next time this worked this time, so next time what do I have to do?
Also, and when you do lose a formal trade, you're more bound to be more emotional the next trade you do take, because that wasn't your original analysis. You blame yourself. Why did I take that? Why did I take that? Now I have to make all the pips profits back. So it's just worst case, just don't take it overall. Just close everything and just walk away if you have to.
Yeah, I think walking away is a really good one. Just closing the chart. Because then you'll kind of know, like, once you do it and you close it, you step away, you follow the plan. You'll have like a. I mean, you might be, if you lost before you did that, you might be a little mad or disappointed you lost. But there should be some sense of pride or proudness to setting a plan and following it. Because anyone can make a plan, but not many actually follow it. And even though your trade or analysis, whatever, was wrong, if you followed your plan, that's still a win in the long game of trading. Because your plan is essentially what's going to make you profitable or not profitable. If you have a winning plan but you don't follow it, you're not going to be profitable because you're not following it. So even if you do have a winning strategy or plan you follow, you still have to follow it, regardless of anything else.
Also, if I may add on to that, the more like you overtrade, over risk, or the more formal trades you take, and the hesitation, like all like the bad habits, the longer it's gonna take to build your capital in your trading account. So it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Like you may look at it like you may view trading as like, oh, it's gonna take longer if I don't try to optimize every single trade, but it's actually the opposite. When you try to optimize every single trade and take every single trade, it's a longer process because the probability of you winning each trade decreases, and you're gonna lose capital in your trading account. So if you're trying, like for me, I'm trying to build capital in my trading account. I know that every single time, I take more trades, it's gonna slow down the process instead of speed it up. It's the opposite of what you guys would view it as, which is a tricky part to get in your head.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
It's like I was talking to someone on our private group chat. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have read the story, the hare and the turtle race, where the rabbit wanted to race a turtle, and the rabbit thought, the turtle could never beat him. But at the end of the day, the turtle beat him because he was on his own journey, his own pace, and then he beat him due to the fact that the hare was being too cocky, for say, or taking and not being safe. So it's your own journey. Don't look at my trading, don't look at Paul's trading, don't look at Sharma's trading, don't look at Harrison's trading and view their profits. No matter what, if your analysis is correct, the profits is gonna add up over time. Don't look at the profit. That's a lot of reason why I feel like people overtrade and have FOMO trade, is that they look at the profits and they look at this as like a get rich quick scheme. It is not a get rich quick scheme. That is hard to understand, but it is not. Obviously, you can be very successful trading, but like the fact is 90% of people blow their accounts within the 90 days. I was a part of this that I've blown my account in the past. So please take your time in trading, learn the ins and outs of this industry before you start over trading or looking at more peers and taking more entries.
Yeah, and always what strategy has worked for me and I still use is I don't look at how much money have I made, it's how many pips have I caught. Everyone is going to catch the same pips, you're just going to have people with different lots. So just focus on yourself, like what John said. Don't focus on anybody else.
Yeah.
You need to learn this on your own. Basically, like what strategy works for you.
Yeah. Like some of my trades are almost exactly the same to Paul, but his I'll compare myself to Paul. His profits is way different than my profits, but our pips are the same. That's just because he might have a slightly bigger account, and that doesn't matter at the end of the day because my analysis is correct, his analysis is correct. So the profit doesn't matter. It's more of like Hashem was saying, look at like the pips instead. I highly recommend looking at the pips instead of the profits, because when you look at the profits, you get super emotional. Well, if you look at the pips, you're like, okay, well, like it's drawed down 5 pips. Oh, it went up 5 pips. It's not like, oh, it went up like $30, it went up $40 or anything like that. So I would highly recommend changing wherever it says profits into pips, and you can do that on MT4.
And also, if you are gonna look at other people, look at them as like motivation, rather than like, well, if he's making 1,500 in a trading session, then why can't I? Just look at them as motivation that eventually you want to get to that kind of a point.
Yeah, and you will get there. You will eventually get there if you stay consistent, don't quit. this a lot of people would get in this industry and as a get rich quick scheme, lose a lot of money, and then they end up quitting. And I highly recommend, if you really want to pursue this as a career, don't do that. It's like you're gonna lose money and you have to learn from those mistakes where you lost money. If you don't learn from those mistakes, you're gonna keep making them and lose more money, and you're gonna just end up quitting. Please, if you guys want to actually pursue a career in this industry, do not just quit right when you blow like a small account or right when you lose money. Invest in education before you start trading with real money, or watch these free live streams. Like there's three individuals there's a community like Trading with Monty, Wixdolai, and Trading with Paul. There's three individuals that trade three different sessions that all have their own experiences and own knowledge. Take advantage of this free knowledge that they're providing on these live streams, because Paul goes through his analysis before he takes an entry and after he takes an entry. And he's posted his journal on his Instagram account where you guys can look back at it and see why he's consistent, what type of trades he's taking. And now it's not on anybody else other than you to stay consistent and learn from that.
I agree. And I even post when I lose too. I don't only post my wins. So.
See, that's the transparency that a lot of people don't get to see with other Forex mentors. Or other Forex mentors always show that you're winning, and then like all the big cars that they had, the luxurious cars, the luxurious lifestyle. Trading isn't about that. All that comes after you have kind of perfected your strategy, when you stick with your plan.
Yep.
It doesn't come after just trading one session.
Yeah. If someone has more pictures of cars and houses and jewelry and money on their Instagram than they do charts and analysis, then they're probably not really trading. I mean, if you look at my Instagram or Rakil's Instagram or Monty's Instagram, we typically have I would say minimum three to five posts every week of a chart with analysis, consistently every single week for months. Rakil much longer, obviously, but I think those are kind of what you should look for. Is, does this person even know how to read a chart, first of all? Because I mean, I could just walk down the street, take a picture of a fancy car, or jump in front of it and take a picture of it, and then be like, use my profits to buy this, learn how to trade. But that picture didn't show you anything about learning how to trade. It showed you a picture of me and a car, and that has nothing to do with trading. That could be like money from anywhere. So we could have been like daddy's credit card that just bought you a car, and you're just gonna say that you did that with Forex. Trading is about cars. If you're into cars, yeah, I have nothing against getting cars. Absolutely not. If you have pictures of cars, I mean, there's nothing against that either. Just if you're going to be teaching, I think you should have more charts.
In Hamilton, you can just pay for the picture, and you can have pictures with, I guess, 10 cars like Ferrari, Lamborghini, Rolls Royce, Mercedes.
Yeah, I mean, I love cars.
Also,
I would love a supercar like that.
I guess I can be a very good trader by posting them on Instagram.
Also, I want to add on to the part. It's not like obviously like where like I have a dream car that I want to get. Like Paul has his dream car that he wants to get. Oh, 1 second.
Yeah, the difference is using those pictures to advertise or market something you're selling, because one has nothing to do with the other. And there are people on Instagram who are great traders that probably have pictures of cars. I'm not dropping any names, but there's people I see on Instagram that I think know what they're doing and they're legit. But there's more pictures of fancy stuff, and that's just, they're just showing their life. I mean, it is what it is.
I think people should be investing more in financial literacy. They need to be investing in books to learn how to invest in assets that will fund all these cars and the luxurious lifestyle that you want.
Guys, if you see the 15-minute chart, isn't it ranging between 440 to 520?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It looks like it's gradually inching up, but it doesn't look like a trade I would want to be in. Yeah, I mean 30 minutes still just... It hasn't gone... If this is the same thing that happened yesterday. These two candles, even these three candles are all within this one 15 pip candle. We haven't gone above, and we barely got below. So, prices within this wick and this wick, 16.5 pips. Whichever way it breaks up or down is going to be a good trade.
I'm heading out of here. You guys have a good evening.
Yep, see you later. I'm going to be ending this here soon too. It's already 8:02. Talk for a few more minutes.
Also, I was saying before about like these cards and stuff like that, like how a lot of influencers that don't trade post and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, like I was saying we have things that we want, right? Like we have like a certain card that we like, but I know I'm into trading and you're into trading to help others, and that's the reason why we're posting charts so that we can educate you guys, so that you guys can get your funds up. And at the end of the day, it's not about making money to get things. It's about making money so that we can. I know, like I want to be my own boss. I don't want to be working like a 9-to-5 job. It's about having freedom to do the things that I want. So that's one of the main reasons why I got into trading, because I can with the career I have with trading, a future career that I'm gonna have with trading, I'm gonna be able to do the things that I want to do and further help others so that they can achieve their dreams. It's not necessarily, don't set a materialistic goal at all. Never set a materialistic goal, and set goals that are achievable and that are realistic. So it's like a goal could be like for this month you want to have increase your account by 10%. Don't set goals like, oh, I wanna make a withdrawal of $1,000, $2,000 so that I can buy this Gucci belt or this Burberry belt. It's not about buying things. If you get into this industry to make quick money so you can have materialistic things, you're gonna lose your money way faster than you make money. It's about creating, it's about being able to create your own freedom so that you're able to do whatever you want to do. And if that's like, for me, I even when I have a career in trading, I'm still in school for paramedic. I want to be a paramedic and I want to help people, and then from that I want to become a firefighter. So it's not like I'm only looking at this just to make money and I'm gonna do whatever I want. You have to have further goals than just to make a quick buck to buy things in this industry.
There's no such thing as a quick buck, so I agree.
Yeah, trust me, you have to spend hours on the charts. Like way before when I first started this, I spent hours on the charts just trying to figure out my plan, and it took until I met Paul. I didn't have a proper plan, and I love the way that he traded, so I took his plan, changed it to my personality, and now I figured out my plan.
I 100% agree with that. When I started, I used to trade London session, I used to trade Asian session, and I used to trade New York session. I've traded all sessions. I've spent God knows how many hours on charts throughout college, and it took me like about a year and a half, almost 2 years, to get like the goals that I wrote down. But it was the exact same goals that Gujat said. I didn't write down that I want like, $50,000 by the end of the year. It was more so, well, this is the percentage increase that I want in my account. And from that, I used to have and I posted this on my story a couple of days ago too. I still do this where I keep $1 under my screen, and I'm like, I want to get to the point where I can trade $1 lot. And then once I was able to do that consistently, I changed that out to $5, $10, $20. At one point, I got to the point where I was able to trade $100 lot.
Damn.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's like immense. So many hours on the charts. So many hours on the charts. So many hours trying to figure out what kind of trader I am. And all this stuff, basically self-education, got to the point where I tried out different mentors. But a lot of my mentors, again, not naming anybody, were those types who used to post all these cars, all these luxurious houses, vacations, pictures of them like holding the TradingViewer MT4 chart on their phone and being like, well, you could do the same thing if you join my team. None of that helped. The real education was the live streams that you're seeing here.
$100 lot though, huh?
I have to
Jeez.
clap for Sharma on that.
Ooh.
That's amazing, Sharma.
That's I've never heard that technique of putting that money in front of you and
Yeah, a lot of people, they use goal cards. They'll use like an index card and they'll write down by the end of this month or this month, this time frame, I want to achieve this goal. My motivation was those dollar bills under my screen.
What's your Instagram again?
Sharma FX.
Sharma FX. That is her Instagram. And GJ is gonna look. It looks like it's gonna go up to that 132,700 now. Broke that candle. So, just real quick. I know we do this all the time, but I'm sure somebody has not heard it. If you were anticipating this to be resistance here, the idea would be that we don't break this bearish candle signifying resistance. But now that we broke this and we went to the upside, this actually was not resistance, it was support to push up, which is what it's doing. So that's how you can anticipate breaks of supports and resistances. Because if this was resistance, this bearish candle should mean price is coming down, but it's going up. So price is going up. Higher time frame probably looks better. Just looks like a wick fill. Yep, it just kind of danced around. And now we do have a new high on the hourly, but from 2 hours previous, we have made a new high in price. So it would make sense that we finish filling up to here, maybe tap up into these wicks. But, sorry to change the topic. I don't know if I can afford light up rollerblades. That might have to be next year. I'll rent some for like 10 minutes.
Also, a lot of people get things to stunt, I would say, so that other people can look at what they have, or like a lot of people get like these brand names clothes, like Gucci shoes, Gucci bag, whatever, so that they can show other people that they have this high end stuff. That is one that it's a thing that happens in our generation a lot, and it's sad because that is one of the most toxic what's the word I'm looking for? Mentality. It's a very toxic mentality, because deep down you're not truly happy, and you're just trying to stunt other people to make yourself happy, when you have to figure out why you're not happy. Like when you're doing stuff like that, is like those are the type of people I feel like that aren't, obviously some people are into brands and that's perfectly fine, but I'm saying when you do it just to show people, oh look, I have money, I have this car, I have this bag, you're not truly happy. You think those materialistic things make you happy, but they don't, because when shit gets hard, sorry for swearing, when things get hard and your mentality is being tested, you're gonna break down. You need to truly figure out what makes you happy, instead of these materialistic things. Materialistic things aren't gonna last. Like materialistic things is like, pretend you get a 2020, we'll say AMG Mercedes. Next year, someone's gonna get a better one than you. There's always gonna be someone out there that's gonna have a better car than you, and that's gonna make you feel like shit. So please don't focus on these materialistic things. It's not gonna make you happy. It's gonna make you happy for the short term, for like one or two minutes, and then after that, you're gonna just be back down in your slump.
Positive attitude is a big part of this, I would say.
Yeah.
But we're gonna wrap it up on that. Didn't hit our 1K today. Hopefully sometime this week we can hit that. And I do believe the more days in a row we hit it, the more we give away. So if we hit it 5 days in a row, then we're giving out, I think it's 6 or 7 magic keys is the plan. But we will be back tomorrow. And the stream did not cut out. That was nice. So thank you all for coming. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow Sharma at Sharma FX, right? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And follow Harrison, and then I'll get Gurjot's Instagram for the next one.
I'm a mystery guy. You will never get
Yeah,
my
no,
Instagram.
you don't.
I'm-
He's weird.
I'm
You
private.
don't want his Instagram. He's a weird. Yep.
I'm the
So I will-
mystery man of the stream.
Yep. See you guys later.